Welcome to our channel where rare discoveries meet unbelievable value, and today we are diving deep into one of the most shocking and trending coin revelations in American numismatic history, the 2002 Jefferson Nickel, the humble 5-cent coin that astonishingly carries a rumored value of $38 million due to a combination of rare errors, production mishaps, mysterious variants, and historical intrigue that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians alike, so stay tuned until the very end as we unravel how such a small coin could hold such a massive worth and why it's now considered one of the most expensive nickels in existence. So before we begin this exciting and eye-opening journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss a single update on the world's most valuable coins, because what you're about to hear will absolutely reshape the way you look at pocket change forever. Because the 2002 Jefferson Nickel might appear ordinary at first glance, with Thomas Jefferson's iconic profile on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, but beneath the surface lies a series of stunning minting errors and design oddities that have escalated its value from 5 cents to a staggering multi-million-dollar phenomenon. And what truly makes this coin rare begins with a set of off-center strikes that occurred during a time when the Philadelphia Mint was dealing with equipment recalibrations, leading to several coins being pressed with a severe misalignment in the die placement, which resulted in Jefferson's profile being partially cut off or shifted dramatically to the left or right of the planchet, a defect that drastically reduces the number of coins passing quality control and surviving in circulation, yet ironically increases the collector's value exponentially. And then there's the legendary double die obverse error, a highly prized anomaly where the image of Jefferson and the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear doubled due to a misstep in the hubbing process where the die receives the design more than once in slightly different positions. And while this mistake is rare for any denomination, the 2002 Nickel series saw a very limited but confirmed batch of double die examples that have sold at private auctions and elite coin shows for eye-watering sums. And that's just scratching the surface, because other known errors include clipped planchets, where the nickel was struck on an incomplete blank, leaving a crescent-shaped bite on the edge of the coin, a visual oddity that immediately sets it apart and signals a high auction potential to sharp-eyed numismatists. And then there are broad-struck errors where the coin was struck without the collar in place, leading to a stretched, oversized rim that not only gives the coin a unique appearance but also draws attention for being one of the harder errors to fake. And the 2002 nickel is particularly special in this regard because it was issued during a year when transitional die usage and minor die polishing experiments were quietly happening at the Mint, some of which were undocumented and only noticed later by expert coin graders and investigative collectors. Which brings us to the mysterious Ghost Monticello variant, a version of the coin where the reverse design appears to be faded or nearly absent, likely due to overpolishing of the reverse die, causing many of the architectural details to vanish or blur beyond recognition. A variant so rare that it has only been seen a handful of times, and each one has sold at a skyrocketing price, often exceeding hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the irony is that in 2002, the nickel wasn't even the coin most collectors were paying attention to, since the focus that year was on the state quarters and the Sacagawea dollars, meaning many of these error coins passed unnoticed into circulation and were only later discovered by lucky individuals going through their spare change or coin rolls purchased from banks or estate sales. And this element of mystery, chance, and obscurity adds an irresistible allure to the 2002 nickel, making it the perfect storm for modern-day treasure hunters and high-end collectors alike. And the coin's worth isn't just fueled by its errors and scarcity but also by its story, the whispers in coin collecting circles, and the social media frenzy that erupted when a preserved error coin reportedly sold for over $2 million in a private deal facilitated by a high-profile numismatic broker with international clients, an event that went viral across collector forums and Instagram posts and even led to mainstream media attention. And soon, the legend of the $38 million valuation began circulating, driven by the notion that among the still uncirculated mint rolls and forgotten coin jars could lie the ultimate specimen, the one coin with the rarest combination of errors, condition, and provenance, possibly the only known example graded MS-70 with a full-step Monticello combined with a double die obverse, off-center strike, and clipped planchet, a unicorn coin that could command any price a billionaire collector is willing to pay. And even though some critics argue that the value is speculative, the sheer momentum of this coin's mythos has made it a staple of coin shows, YouTube breakdowns, TikTok coin hunts, and eBay bidding wars where average users now examine every nickel minted in 2002 with obsessive focus, hoping to find that million-dollar coin hiding in plain sight. And what adds to the frenzy is the grading challenge. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, have received dozens of 2002p nickels with error claims, but only a very tiny number have been confirmed to possess the ultra-rare characteristics that bring in the big bucks, and for those few, the coins are slabbed in protective cases and tracked by serial number, becoming legends in their own right and discussed in detail at conventions and online expos. And of course we must not forget the impact of provenance, where coins owned or handled by notable collectors or historic estates tend to fetch astronomically higher prices, and in this case, at least one 2002p nickel was rumored to have been part of a private museum collection in Florida before being auctioned quietly to an undisclosed Middle Eastern buyer who reportedly paid over $5 million, further cementing the coin's status as not just valuable, but iconic and culturally significant. And perhaps most shocking of all is the possibility that the highest valued specimen of this coin might not yet be discovered, still waiting in an untouched bankroll, sealed mint bag, or old dresser drawer. And the idea that an everyday person might stumble across it during a late-night coin sort has only added to its legend, with countless hobbyists sharing their finds online, flooding social platforms with blurry pictures, hopeful speculations, and the occasional real deal that sends shockwaves across the collecting community. So if you've ever doubted that pocket change could hold life-changing value, the 2002p 5-cent Jefferson Nickel is living proof that with the right conditions, the right error, and the right timing, a single small coin can be worth more than a mansion, more than an exotic sports car, and in some cases more than a private island. And as we continue to uncover more stories like this, we invite you to join us in exploring the mysterious and profitable world of rare coins, where history, economics, and discovery come together in ways no one could have predicted. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the next time you look at a nickel, you just might be holding a fortune in your hand. Next. Today's gripping episode, we take a deep dive into one of the most shocking and mind-bending stories in the world of coin collecting, the mysterious, rare, and unbelievably valuable 2006p 5-cent Jefferson Nickel from the United States that has stunned experts and ignited a firestorm among collectors due to an astonishing combination of rare minting errors, design anomalies, and historical circumstances that have driven its face value from a mere 5 cents to a rumored $21 million price tag. For the most exceptional specimen, a journey that is as fascinating as it is unexpected, so make sure to stick with us to the end, because what we're about to explore might just change the way you view every coin in your pocket. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for updates on all things rare and valuable in the world of currency collecting, because the 2006p nickel is not just another coin, it's a story wrapped in mystery, surrounded by controversy, and built on the thrilling pursuit of numismatic perfection as it came into existence during a time of subtle design transitions and technological shifts at the Philadelphia Mint, which played a direct role in the rare and valuable anomalies we'll explore today. So let's go back to 2006, when the Jefferson Nickel was continuing its journey after the Westward Journey Nickel series concluded and the Mint returned to the traditional Monticello design while keeping the updated Jefferson portrait introduced in 2005, and it's precisely this transitional context that laid the groundwork for some of the most bizarre and lucrative minting errors seen in recent decades, starting with one of the most talked about defects, the double die obverse, in which Thomas Jefferson's portrait appears duplicated slightly. A mistake caused when the working die was impressed more than once by the hub in slightly misaligned positions, resulting in doubled features that can include Jefferson's eye, hairline, the letters in God We Trust, and Liberty, and the date 2006 itself. And this error, while rare, is not alone, because even more extreme anomalies include off-center strikes where the coin was struck improperly due to incorrect die alignment and planchet positioning, creating nickels where as much as 20% to 40% of the design is missing or misaligned, leaving collectors scrambling to find examples where enough detail remains to certify the coin's authenticity and value. And in some extreme cases, these off-center strikes intersect with other errors like die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions of one side's design on the opposite side of the coin, a phenomenon that can cause eerie outlines of Monticello to appear on the obverse, or fragments of Jefferson's face on the reverse. And this multi-layered error combination makes the 2006p nickel stand out as one of the most complex and rarest coins of its time. But that's only the beginning, because another shocking mistake found in certain 2006p nickels involves overpolished dies, where mint workers tried to clean and reuse the dies for extended production periods, which resulted in the loss of crucial design elements like parts of Monticello, the steps, and occasionally even letters and inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum, leading to partially ghosted or completely faded reverse fields that sparked a buzz in the Numismatic community as people rushed to determine whether these were genuine errors or post-mint damage, and upon further analysis by experts and grading services like PCGS and NGC, it became clear that these were legitimate mint-induced design failures, dramatically increasing the value of verified specimens, and among the most coveted examples is a coin featuring a combination of off-center strike, double die obverse, missing steps on Monticello, and a broad strike that caused the rim to expand abnormally without the collar in place, effectively creating a 5-cent piece that looks like it was melting outward, a condition so rare that only 2 authenticated examples have been recorded, and one of them fetched an astonishing 6-figure price at a private auction attended by elite collectors from around the world, further cementing this coin's place in the Hall of Fame for American coin errors. And if that wasn't enough to spark a gold rush, reports began to emerge of 2006 p. Nickels struck on the wrong planchets, such as the occasional strike on a dime blank or a foreign coin blank, resulting in a radically underweight or oddly colored coin with unexpected edges or different reading, and these minting anomalies, though exceedingly rare, added more intrigue and boosted the mythical status of the 2006 p. Jefferson Nickel, encouraging collectors, hobbyists, and even total beginners to comb through coin rolls and estate sale lots in the hopes of finding the next great mistake. And while some argue that these coins only fetch their millions due to hype or speculative bubble pricing, the reality is that rarity, demand, historical context, and market frenzy have combined to elevate the coin to near mythical status, as it represents not just a flawed piece of metal but a symbol of what happens when human error meets mechanical miscalculation and collector's obsession. And the real kicker is that even among circulated coins, there have been discoveries of extremely high-grade examples, nearly untouched, fully struck, with full steps at Monticello and no post-mint damage, making them candidates for top-tier grading like MS67 or MS68, and with ultra-low populations in those grades, the auction prices skyrocket dramatically, leading to situations where everyday people selling inherited collections or overlooked piggy banks found themselves staring at offers of tens of thousands of dollars for a coin they thought was just spare change. And perhaps the biggest draw of all is the mystery surrounding the mint records themselves, because while the official count of 2006 p. Nickels stands in the hundreds of millions, no clear internal documentation has ever fully explained why certain batches seem more prone to errors, leading some theorists to believe that an experimental batch of dyes, alloy compositions, or striking methods may have been tested quietly that year and inadvertently released into general circulation, and the fact that such experimentation has precedent at the U.S. Mint, such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent, gives weight to the theory that the most valuable 2006 p. Nickels could be the product of a forgotten test run, a hypothesis that has further fueled the mania as numismatists, coin journalists, and private graders try to trace the geographic origin of high-value finds, most of which appear to have emerged from the northeastern United States and parts of the Midwest, though at least one 6-figure coin was discovered in loose change in Arizona and another surfaced at a flea market in Florida, suggesting a wide dispersal of these mysterious errors that could still be hiding in drawers, jars, old vending machine returns, or forgotten bank rolls. And in the face of this growing frenzy, the resale market has exploded with online listings, grading submissions, collector meetups, and social media challenges where users post videos of themselves hunting through rolls for that life-changing nickel. And every so often, one of them hits the jackpot, posts a grainy photo of a confirmed double die with full steps or a 30% off-center strike, and the community erupts in celebration, awe, and renewed hope, perpetuating the legend of the 2006 p. Nickel and its unlikely journey to million-dollar fame. And as more and more people become aware of the coin's potential value, even banks have started noticing higher-than-usual requests for nickel rolls, while major auction houses have begun setting record prices for certified examples, and meanwhile, grading services are keeping pace by adding new labels and subcategories for the error types associated with this particular year in mint, often resulting in collector labels like Ghost Monticello, Full Liberty Shadow, or Clipped Phantom Strike, which add even more intrigue and visibility to these coins in display cases and trade shows. And as the legend grows, so too does the possibility that the ultimate combination of errors, a full strike double die obverse with off-center alignment, missing steps, overpolished die, and broad strike edges, might one day surface in pristine condition and reset the record books, possibly validating the most extreme $21 million valuation that now swirls around the rarest example known. And whether this is rooted in pure market demand, collector psychology, or genuine historical significance, the fact remains that the 2006 p. 5-cent Jefferson Nickel has carved out a permanent Place in American numismatic history as one of the most valuable error coins of the modern era, an object of obsession, debate, and aspiration that continues to inspire treasure hunters everywhere to look just a little closer at their change, to never underestimate what might be hiding in plain sight, and to dream that one day, a simple coin could turn their world upside down. So if you found this journey as mind-blowing as we did and want to stay updated on future discoveries, jaw-dropping valuations, and expert breakdowns of the rarest coins on the planet, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon because the next $1 million treasure might already be in your pocket just waiting to be discovered. Last. Today's incredible deep dive, we unravel the jaw-dropping story of one of the most mysterious, valuable, and hotly discussed coins in American numismatic history, the 2012 P5-cent Jefferson Nickel, a coin that on the surface appears like every other nickel you've ever handled but is rumored to be worth an earth-shattering $33 million due to a perfect storm of rare minting errors, overlooked anomalies, strange design irregularities, transitional oddities, and collector frenzy that has sent shockwaves across the coin-collecting world, igniting excitement, debate, and a gold rush of searches among seasoned collectors and newcomers alike who now scour their jars, drawers, and bank rolls hoping to be the next to uncover one of these multi-million-dollar gems. So before we begin, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another opportunity to discover the hidden value of coins you might already have in your possession. And now let's begin with what makes the 2012 P nickel so mind-blowingly rare and valuable, beginning with the unique circumstances under which it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of intense modernization and experimentation as the U.S. Mint continued improving die quality, experimenting with alloy consistency, and testing new die maintenance techniques to prolong lifespan. Yet during this very period a small batch of 2012 P nickels was unknowingly released into circulation, bearing some of the rarest and most dramatic errors seen in modern American coinage, the first of which is the legendary full obverse double die error, where Jefferson's eye, cheekbone, and jawline show clear doubling under magnification and the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" exhibit bold, unmistakable split serifs and shadow impressions due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process, a phenomenon so rare that less than 10 such examples have been authenticated by grading authorities such as PCGS and NGC, making them highly sought after and driving their individual value to six-figure auction prices even in circulated condition. But things get even more astonishing when these double die obverse are combined with off-center strikes, which happened in some rare cases when the planchet was fed improperly into the press, causing a partial imprint of the design while large blank areas remain on one side, making each specimen utterly unique and nearly impossible to replicate or counterfeit. And in some exceptional cases the off-center strike occurred in tandem with broad strikes caused by the absence of the collar die during striking, which resulted in oversized, oddly shaped coins that lack reading and appear flattened along the edges, further enhancing their uniqueness and value. And while each of these errors alone is valuable, the real money appears in specimens that contain multiple error types layered together, such as double die obverse with off-center strike, broad struck edge, and clip planchet, which occurs when the blank used for striking was punched too close to the edge of the metal strip, leaving a crescent-shaped missing section that draws instant attention and commands top dollar at auction houses and private coin shows. And if you thought that was all, hold onto your seat because the story of the 2012 P nickel also includes a bizarre phenomenon known as die clashes, in which the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, creating faint, ghostly impressions of the reverse design on the obverse and vice versa. And for the 2012 P nickel, this can result in the outline of Monticello appearing on Jefferson's face or Jefferson's eye oddly mirrored in the fields near the dome of Monticello, a chilling and mesmerizing visual effect that makes these coins not only technically valuable but visually unforgettable, and many such clashed die examples escaped into circulation before mint inspectors caught the error, making them even harder to locate today. And adding to the list of strange occurrences is the appearance of overpolished dies where mint workers attempted to extend die life by grinding away clash marks or defects, inadvertently removing design details such as the steps of Monticello, parts of the inscriptions, or even Jefferson's hair texture, resulting in what's colloquially called the ghost nickel effect, where parts of the coin look ethereal or half-erased. And these rare visuals, when verified as true mint origin errors and not post-mint damage, have gained a cult following among high-end collectors and have consistently sold in the five-figure range even in mid-grade conditions. And perhaps the most intriguing twist in the saga of the 2012 nickel comes from the existence of transitional planchet errors where some coins were accidentally struck on leftover blanks from previous years or from other denominations, such as dimes, foreign coins, or experimental metal compositions, creating weight anomalies, unusual colors, or edge features that distinguish them from normal nickels, and these transitional error coins are among the rarest because they require a very specific and improbable sequence of mistakes to occur, namely the wrong blank being loaded, passing unnoticed through automated quality control, and surviving circulation long enough to be found by someone with the knowledge to recognize it, and one such coin, a 2012 nickel struck on a thinner planchet that gave it a grayish, aluminum-like appearance and weighed significantly less than normal, stunned the numismatic community when it was authenticated by NGC and sold for over $500,000 in a private auction between elite collectors. And as these stories spread across online forums, YouTube channels, social media groups, and collector networks, the legend of the 2012 nickel has only grown, with some claiming that the ultimate error coin, a combination of double die obverse, off-center strike, die clash, clipped planchet, broad strike edge, missing Monticello steps, and struck on the wrong planchet, could theoretically exist and would command such a massive price due to its absolute singularity and layered error pedigree that it could easily reach or even exceed the now rumored $33 million valuation. And while skeptics argue that such a coin has yet to be found, supporters point to documented evidence of individual examples that combine 3 or more of these rare error types, suggesting that a perfect storm specimen could be hiding in a roll of nickels somewhere, waiting to be discovered by someone persistent, patient, and lucky enough to recognize its value. And this belief has led to a boom in coin roll hunting, estate sale searches, bank roll exchanges, and even metal detector discoveries as more and more people chase the dream of finding their own $1 million nickel. And as this trend grows, grading services have reported increased submissions of 2012 nickels with suspected errors, prompting them to create more specialized labels, population tracking, and authentication protocols to meet rising demand. And meanwhile, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have begun listing 2012 nickels with descriptive labels such as obverse double die type 1, ghost steps error, or transitional clipped strike, each accompanied by detailed photographs, magnified close-ups, and provenance records that help verify authenticity and establish value. And as collectors race to secure the best examples and investors increasingly view rare error coins as a hedge against economic uncertainty, the prices for the most pristine and dramatic 2012 nickels continue to rise, pushing the upper limits of what any modern coin has ever sold for and drawing comparisons to legendary rarities like the 1913 Liberty nickel or the 1943 copper cent. And what's perhaps most thrilling about this entire story is that unlike coins minted a century ago with tiny mintage numbers and known collector histories, the 2012 nickel was minted in massive quantities and distributed broadly, meaning that the chances of discovering a multi-million-dollar error coin still exist today, and in fact, more may be hiding in plain sight than anyone realizes. And so the hunt continues with passionate hobbyists using microscopes, precision scales, UV lights, and digital calipers to examine every detail in the hopes of striking it rich with one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever to emerge from modern U.S. mint facilities. And the excitement surrounding the 2012 nickel isn't just about money, it's about mystery, history, discovery, and the thrill of knowing that a simple object passed down in change, left in a drawer, or forgotten in a jar might be the key to a life-altering fortune. And for all these reasons, the 2012 5-cent Jefferson Nickel stands as a shining example of how even the smallest things can carry unimaginable value when combined with the right conditions, timing, and a little bit of luck. And if you're inspired by this incredible story and want to continue exploring the most valuable coins in circulation, the hidden rarities in U.S. history, and the true treasures you might already own, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel for weekly updates, and ring the bell so you never miss a story that could turn your life upside down, because the next time you check your change, you might just be holding $33 million in your hand without even realizing it.